Mr. Walter Jones. What are your general views on climate change?
I think it is the most important issue facing the world in the next 25 years. I think that if we don't take drastic action to reduce emissions, then we are going to be facing huge environmental problems in the future.
Sir, how will global warming or climate change affect the economy of countries?
I think it's going to have devastating effects on a large number of countries around the world. We could start with the Maldives, which is in danger of being submerged by rising sea levels. But there are lots of other areas where you will find industries will just die out. Agricultural industries won't be able to cope with the changing climate, and lots of people could lose their livelihood as a result. So I think there will be massive changes.
Sir, do you think that our current economic practices are to blame for climate change?
Yes, I'm sure they are. I'm sure that we have failed to recognise the external costs of the actions of our industries. I'll give you an example. In the UK, 20, 30, 40 years ago, we had a series of electricity generating power stations, coal-fired, on the east coast of the country. And the emissions from those power stations used to fall as acid rain on Scandinavian forests. Now, that was a cheap way of the UK generating electricity for UK residents, but it was imposing costs on people in Scandinavia. Those sort of examples can be replicated all around the world. Industries have been allowed to save money by having the cheapest costs of production, which involves smoke going up into the air and everything else. We see it here when there's a haze because of land clearance in Indonesia or Borneo, and it's the same principle. The people who are trying to save costs by doing something too cheaply and imposing a cost on other countries and other people.
Sir, what changes should we make in our economy to combat climate change?
We should ban excess emissions and try and make sure that industries can most industries can internalize some of these external costs by fitting filters and treating their effluent and their smoke and everything else. But they have to be made to do it. The same way that lorries, I mean, we'll see on the highway old lorries and coaches spewing out black smoke. They should be banned, should be taken off the road. And likewise, we need to do something about the amount of cars on the roads. We need to clean up the engines and reduce the amount of carbon emissions that are coming from traffic.
Sir, what are your general views on clean industries as a prerequisite for official development assistance?
Well, I think it's rather hypocritical of the West, of the States and Europe, to start imposing conditions for aid when they're responsible for most of the global warming in the world at the moment. It seems to me that there's a responsibility on the developed world to clean up its own industry and its own industrial practices before they start imposing conditions on the rest of the world. Having said that, clearly it would be legitimate to say that we will provide extra assistance if industries can be encouraged to be cleaner. So yeah, I think it's legitimate to say, we would like to encourage you as a developing country to have a new industry, but we recommend that you use modern production techniques which will be cleaner, and we will provide you extra money in order for you to do that. But I think insisting on it, when the States has failed to sign up to the Kyoto Treaty, for example, is sheer hypocrisy.
Lastly, sir, do you think that it is our economy that holds the solution for climate change?
Oh, I've no doubt that solutions and ways of addressing global warming are possible and can be done through economic means. So there's no reason why those power stations in the UK have either shut down and transferred to gas-fired electricity generation or something else, or they've fitted filters. So it's quite possible to address most of the problems. Car engines can be cleaned up. Cars can run on electricity or hybrid and things like that. Forest fires in Borneo can be stopped, and other ways can be found for dealing with the land clearance and all the rest of it. Deforestation can be stopped. So there are undoubtedly solutions for virtually all the problems that we're facing. They just cost money, and they aren't, particularly at the moment, they're not the sort of foremost in people's thoughts. That's a real concern. And if the world economy goes into a massive downturn, which it is, then possibly climate change will be pushed back on the list of things to do.
All right, thank you very much, sir.